Glasses, get my glasses. Get my glasses. Good morning, good afternoon, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. So there. The title of this is How Many Commandments Are There? Yeah, you read that there's 613 in the Old Testament. I don't know, anybody could fine-tune this or even figure it out. Because when you go to read the Ten Commandments and thereafter, before and after that, there's thou shalt do this, you shall do this, you shall do this, you shall not do this, you shall not, who decides? Who's the genius computer level, Cray computer level brain that decides how many there are? I'm bringing this up because in the other night in a stream, I said something about the Ten Commandments, I think, and somebody took exception with that statement, and then they insulted me, called me a dummy, and has since then called me a fool, and another insulting derogatory term. Anyway, he's called me a fool and a dummy. So I'm just wondering, how many commandments do you think there are? And what I'm referring to is the main commandments. In Exodus 20, how many are there? I'm just wondering if anybody in the world has ever said the same thing that this guy is saying, because I've never heard of it before in my life. He seems to have a secret corner on how many commandments are, and he's God's watchdog. He's God's, guardian over these things. I think he could start a cult. It sounds like. I don't know. I could be wrong, but let me tell you my background. I was saved in 1973. Instead of going to Colorado University Engineering School in Boulder, Colorado, I went to Bible college at Western Bible College in Morrison, Colorado. Then I went to Rockmont College for 2 or 3 years. Okay, so I went to Bible college a lot. I took Old Testament survey, New Testament survey in both schools. I read through Donald Guthrie's book. It's literally about that thick. Can you see where the heck is it? I don't know if you can see that. About 3 inches thick, 3.5 inches thick. New Testament survey. I read the whole damn thing. We had to read it. I read Old Testament survey. I read a lot. I've read the Bible several times. I have a good handle for the Bible. A lot of people like this guy that are so, perfectionist. They break the law, and this guy is breaking commandment after commandment. Well, if there's certain number of commandments in the Old Testament that he says there are, and I'm wrong, and I'm a fool, and I'm an idiot, and I'm a dummy, and he's constantly breaking laws, Old and New Testament. What did Messiah say? If you call your brother a fool, you're in danger of hellfire. And before he said that, I had told him, I said, look, be careful what you say, because you're going to be judged by the words that come out of your mouth. That's exactly what Messiah says. You'll be judged by the words out of your own mouth. And then he called me a fool. So I gave him that scripture. I said, I told you you'd be judged out of the words out of your own mouth. Messiah himself, Jesus himself says, if you call your brother a fool, you'll be in danger of hellfire. In danger of hellfire. So I'm praying he'll repent, come to his senses. I mean, he could definitely start a cult. The cult of the funny number of commandments, Very weird. So I'm just kind of curious. Anyway. And then other things are, it was cold last night. I had no idea it was going to get. I was out there in short sleeve. Okay, I didn't have a shirt on last night when I streamed from the campfire. I didn't have a shirt on. I just put my vest on. That's how nice it was. I had slippers, house slippers on. I didn't have boots on. I didn't have socks on. I had slippers on, and I had pajama bottoms on. I didn't even have pants on or shorts or nothing. I just put on my pajama bottoms and went out there. They were long ones, but nonetheless. They weren't Bill's pajama bottoms. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's how nice it was last night. And then I wake up this morning and it was freaking cold in here. I mean, my feet were cold, not quite, but it was cold in here. So I was sitting laying there going, I ain't even going to get up until it warms up a little bit. So I didn't. I laid in here until about 2. I don't know what time it was. 8. No, about 5 when I ate. I streamed. I ate and then I streamed. Okay, so whatever time I streamed, I had eaten once, and that was it. And now it's getting cold again. I meant to check. A lot of people are in route to move. We need to have some kind of an organization. And if you want to watch one of the best movies you'll ever see in your life, watch Ephraim's Rescue. It's produced by a really good filmmaker out in Utah, Mormon film, about the handcart company, the Martin Handcart Company that got caught in a 100-year blizzard while walking from Iowa City, Iowa to Salt Lake City. They walked from Iowa to Salt Lake, Utah. 1,300 miles on foot. A lot of them died. They got caught in the blizzard. Brigham Young says, we have to go out and rescue the saints that are still out on the plains. Who will go? And the one guy says, I'll be ready next Friday. Another guy says, I'll be ready Sunday. Ephraim Hanks raises his hand and says, I'll be ready. I can go now. I can leave now. He got on his horse and left. So, very, very, very awesome story. But the point of that is, I don't know. Oh, Ephraim's Rescuers. For many years, I've had in my mind that there will be a search and rescue system around the Ozarks. And I want it to be called Ephraim's Rescuers in honor of that man. And I know some of y'all are Mormon, and some of you aren't. And if you hate Mormonism, forgive me or not. I don't really care. But I wrote about it in my book a couple of things. I wrote about the handcart company because I thought that was one of those ingenious, think outside the box examples in history. And Zimbabwe Zach, I'm streaming. Call back later. Anyway, because they had a problem of poor people. How do you get poor people here from Illinois and Iowa? How do you get them here? They don't have money for a Conestoga wagon, a prairie schooner, a covered wagon, and oxen and axes and saws and all the things they needed to have. 100 pounds of flour and 100 pounds of wheat and 100 pounds of sugar, gunpowder, rifles, everything else. We have to think outside that box. That's a big box. That box is too big. We need a littler box. They can push their carts. They can pull their carts. Think outside the big box, get into a little box. So it was a brilliant idea. The problem was that the carts were rushed into production and they were faulty. A lot of them were defective. They weren't built strong enough or well enough. And then another problem was they weren't big enough. And the other thing was they didn't give them enough. They didn't allot them enough food. They allowed 17 pounds of food and whatnot for a 1,300-mile walk. Not quite enough flour. They're allowed X number of pounds of food per day or something like that. And then they were told to leave too late, way too late in the year. And one young man, just Levi Price or Levi Young, name was Levi. He was one of the leaders or guides, whatever, on the expedition because he'd made the trip several times. And he cautioned him. He said, "Please do not go. Please do not go. It will mean the death of many of us." And they said they voted to go. And so he said, "Well, even though you voted to go, and I don't want you to go, I'll still go with you, and I'll die with you." So very beautiful. And then in a book called Devil's Gate, I bought because I wanted to read something more about it. In that book, I read that one of the Mormon elders in the East, like Illinois, Iowa, or Missouri, maybe, made the statement. I thought this was one of the weird statements in I've ever read, eerie statements, because he said, "The day will come when millions of people will be coming with their children in their arms, with their babies in their arms, and it will be up to the saints to bring them in." Stop it. So, I read that and I had chills because at that time there weren't millions of people in the United States. Maybe there's 1 million, 2 million, who knows? But there weren't millions of people who were going to be coming with their babies in their arms, in desperation to find safety and refuge. But there are today, and there will be. So I really felt that was an honest to God, genuine prophecy, that the Spirit would come on that man, and he saw that in his mind. And he said millions. He didn't say thousands. He didn't say hundreds of thousands. He didn't say hundreds. He did not say hundreds. He did not say thousands. He did not say hundreds of thousands. He said millions. Millions of people will be coming with their babies in their arms, their children in their arms. Wow, that's awesome. That's so heavy. So, um, yeah, that's a good one. So, well, I've got nobody on, and somebody called me. I need to call them back, and I got a Facebook thing here. So let me see what he's got to say. I will send you the. Come on. I will send you the links for that. Forget it. Okay, ain't gonna work. Let me put a. Yeah, okay. Reconnecting. Okay, so that's when I believe that's going to happen. I believe we're going to see literally millions of people relocating across the country forcibly. Hopefully, see the first stage of the gathering. This is from a map from back in, like it's on lithographic. What do you call it? Mimeograph paper, right? It's all you can see. The ink is really bled. The typeset is really crappy, old like that, black and white. Just look, you could tell it was done on a bleeding a mimeograph or the old crank things where you put a original in and you crank the thing right. That's what it was done on. And in spite of that, there was so much wisdom and so much awesome genius in that map. But the thing that he says is the first stage of the gathering will be where you are at now across the country. And the Lord will gather groups of people around you. The second stage will be that people will be drawn or driven, and he said drawn or driven into this triangular area, this golden triangle, from the Great Lakes down to mid-Texas, down to South Carolina. That's where I'm just saying approximately. That's where the corners of it are: Great Lakes, Texas, South Carolina. Big triangle. And then he said the next stage of the gathering would be people will be driven into what he called it the clouds of cloudy area. It was a cloudy areas, but the Ozark Plateau basically, exact where it was, but he called it something clouds of refreshing, clouds of blessing, something like that, into that area. And then he had a diamond-shaped area that he called the cities of refuge. So that's what I'm looking at. We may be so besieged that it goes down to a little tiny area in Arkansas. It may be. I don't know. That's the new first time that thought has actually come to my mind where I could actually believe that could happen. But by and large, I believe that the rivers that surround the Ozark Plateau are the borders: the Mississippi, the Missouri, the Arkansas, and the rivers out on the west end. Multiple rivers. Some of them kind of going from northeast to southwest, and some of them going from southwest, southeast to northwest. Yeah, you know, like like that. So anyway, um, kind of a V-shaped pattern with the V to the west and the narrower part of the Ozark Plateau, and there'll be a little peninsula of safety there of land transport into the Ozark Plateau, which will be an island, the Ozark Island Peninsula. Peninsula was an area surrounded by water, but mostly surrounded by water on all sides except for one part, like Florida's a peninsula, right? California, Baja is a peninsula. So anyway, shut up. Okay, whatever. Pasta lasagna, everybody. Anybody on there say hi? You got one person on Jeremiah sign. Hey, Jeremiah. Getty, where you been? You've been missing in class, Getty, for about 6 or 7 streams. What you been up to there, buddy? Nobody. Nobody what? Hey, nobody. I'm a nobody. God's going to get a bunch of nobodies together here, I'll tell you what. Oh my gosh. I am, but But you know what? Paul says that God is going to use the weak things of the world to confound the mighty, the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and use the things that are nothing to bring to nothing the things that are. He's going to use the nobodies, the nothings of the world, to bring to nothing the things that think they are. Powers that be, whatever you want to call them. The fools in charge. Yep. All right, well, I don't have anything on my tablet set up. Yeah, I do, but I'm not going to turn it on. It's not worth it. So, for you guys that are on, I was on earlier. Jeremiah, you got on, right? Yeah, you were on, so you know that. You've been on twice today. You're the only one. Hey, yeah, you're starting a new trend here, dude. So, okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Um, living and working. Raising babies, mostly. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, that's your job, buddy. Be fruitful and multiply. Replenish the earth. Take dominion and subdue it. Come on out here and do all that. You know, you can raise babies out here in the Ozarks. I've been off time. Been off time. Okay. What does that mean? There's a crack. Oh, good night. Yeah, good night. Good night, Gaddy Anton. I'm gonna get off here. No sense in beating a dead horse. One other person's on. You want to say hi? Hi and goodbye. Let somebody gets on and we'll start talking. Nope. Okay. Where's a good area to start looking as far as out here for land? Um, you know, I would focus around Ava, Dora, Drury, County in Missouri, the largest county. It is larger than the smallest state in the country, Rhode Island. Yeah, honest. So, very wide open state, county. That's it. You know, depending on what you want to do. If you want to live near a Walmart and Aldi's and all that, supermarkets, Sam's Club, and Costco, big movie theaters and all that, then you want to be closer to Springfield, the city. Springfield is the biggest city. Now, if you have to have work, whatever you do for work, if you want to be working somewhere, then you want to be working, within a plant or a truck, whatever you're doing with a truck end or whatever. You want to be near where you can do that. Yeah, it depends on what you want to do. But I'm wanting to get over toward Ava and Dora and Drury because that's the center of the Ozark Plateau, and I want to be there. And there's a couple that's coming out from Tennessee that may buy a property and they'll need help with it. And I'm hoping it's going to work out that I can, stay with them and help them out, live on their place, and move over that way and have good internet, which they'll have to have anyway because they work offline. They work online. IT people. It would be an ideal setup. I could be there, help them on the farm, and teach them all the kinds of everything they need to know, and be able to have internet and be able to have a place to travel from to help other people, to help people set up their farms and get around barter trade, travel, stuff like that. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna bag it, but that would, and you can write me, talk to me. We can talk on the phone. That would be probably the best way to do it. Honestly, I think that's good. I mean, if you don't want to talk on the phone, that's fine. If you want to do email and stuff, that's okay too. This isn't the best time to do it. I mean, it's okay because it gets other information out to other people. But for everybody's situation is different. Your financial situation, your logistics of getting out here, that's different. How much do you feel like you have to accomplish before you get here? If you got babies and little kids, and you don't want to just come out sight unseen and plop down somewhere and hope you can survive. That's not the way to do it. I understand that. Everything they owned showed up right here on the farm. I could walk over within 2 minutes. I could walk over to where I went out and shook hands with them, and got a job and a place to stay, and they're still there, and it was great. It was a good move for them. That's what they did. They moved everything, lock, stock, tomahawk. The guy had to go back for his tools because he did auto body, and they got a job doing auto body down there, and just absolutely knocked it out of the park. As far as what they did in a move. So people have done sight unseen, but I don't advise it, except for the fact that, let's say if you're coming from the East Coast and two people did this. They just moved. They just did it. They loaded everything, packed it up, shipped it. Both of them did it. Both of them shipped things from the East Coast and then came out. One guy drove out. The couple got on a plane and flew out. They had their cars shipped. They even shipped their cars. I didn't tell them to do that. That was their idea. They shipped. Long we were shipping stuff, let's ship our cars. So they did. They shipped their cars. Two cars came out, landed on the plane, stayed in. They stayed somewhere for a while, and then they rented a cabin right down the street from me for a while. And actually found a property within walking distance of me. So 10 acre, real pretty little place. 10 acres, really nice little place with a cabin on it. So that's one way to do it. Come out, rent. It depends on what you want to do. If you got an RV or something to stay in, you want to build a log cabin or something, do it. You can build your own home, no question. There's a guy, Tim Quinn, that gets on once in a while. He's on WhatsApp if you want to get on there. He sent me a bunch of pictures. He's kept me apprised. He'll send me pictures all the and videos of his property and his his cabin that he and his wife are building a cabin out of logs. Logs hewn right out of the forest. I mean, I'm kidding you not, like 10-inch or 10 or 12 inch, but they're cut square, cut flat. They're stacking them. Big, huge cabin, about 40 by 60 cabin. So very cool, very nice. Burning the whole thing, with torches, scorching it, carbonizing it on the outside so it's all black. It's going to be really awesome. Oh my gosh. Love it. Love that kind of thing. So, there's 4 people on now. Oh my gosh, I might have to stay on for a couple more minutes. It is chilly in here, people. I ate and I'm like, well, I might as well get on again. Anybody else say anything? Oh yeah. Jeremiah. How about Australia? Australia's a test run. What are they running? What are they test running in Canada? I don't know. I know. Just kidding you. Stupid truck stop shit. I don't know. Man, what does that say? Man Bargashta. Man Bargashta. Hi, Man Bargashta. Whoever you are, say hi or introduce yourself. Where you're from. Planning on moving, or you're just gonna stay where you're at? You gonna bug in or bug out? Yeah. So anyway. A lot of things to consider, and the thing is, right now, the reason I want to get some kind of an operation going where we can help people, where people that are not going to do anything but have income, and people that are here, are willing to help other people make it here. Because Mary on the East Coast, out in Pennsylvania, needs to get here. She has 3 daughters. Okay, she needs help. She can't do that. She can't do it herself. Maybe she can. They can load it with, if she got 3. Or they could load everything up in the house and put it in a U-Haul and drive out here. She could do that. Okay, I'm hoping to get in touch with her and find out. I think that's a good idea, good way to do it. She wants to come out with furniture. Where are you going to put your furniture, though? I mean, maybe she's got money to buy a house, but she's on, Social Security, so like me, so she can have limited income to do it. But maybe she goes. There's Zimbabwe out there. Oh, who in the hell? What time is this? I'll tell you, people are just so stupid. 10:42. Somebody's just pulling in. I'd like to get Scott and beat him on the head. I'm not going to. It's too cold. Morons. Damn it. Okay. Anyway, kids. So it sounds like the engine ain't running too good either. But running on 2 cylinders. They deserve it for being stupid. All right, so yeah, Deb out there needs help too. There's no reason why 2 elderly couple, an elderly couple with, and the guy's part blind and crippled hands, should have to try to move out by themselves. That means she have to be all on her. Not, that can't happen. Need to have help. Need to have somebody willing to get out. Convoy, 3 people convoyed at the same time from California and made it. Check with her, Bonnie. Bonnie, how you doing? Doc, how are you doing? Susan, how are you doing? The hell are you at? What happened to your mind? And but convoy's a good idea, especially from California. So anyway, okay. Especially in Southern California, there's people coming here all the time, still from California, still people coming here. to the Ozarks from California. SoCal. It just pulls up. Everybody sees us when they first go up. Welcome to live chat. Come on. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Now, community guidelines are basically, be nice, don't be creepy, don't be insulting. And we've had a couple of incidents of that recently. And one of them turned out great, the other one not great. Okay, I'm talking about Zimbabwe there, the other night. It was just awesome, kind of had a run. And it worked out, just beautifully. And could actually result in, saving my life here because fount of information. But the other night something happened that on the Ten Commandments. That's why I brought that up earlier. A lot of you got on late, so I titled this "How Many Commandments Are There?" And I said something about the Ten Commandments, and one guy said something about there's not 10 commandments. So I don't know where this guy's coming from on that. So he said, I hate deceivers. Don't be a deceiver. He later called me, he called me a deceiver. Today he called me a fool. And that night on the screen, he called me a dummy. Okay, he's called me a deceiver, a dummy, and a fool. Because I don't know how many commandments there are. So I'm asking everybody, how many commandments in the Exodus 20 do you think there are? We all seen Charlton Heston. We all seen the movie. Everybody thinks we think they see the movie. Try give me throw out a few votes here. I want to see if I have been a Christian since 1973. I've gone to Bible college. I've gone to Christian college, and I have never heard anybody say anything like what this guy's spewing, whatever. I'd say spewing would be a good word. Spewing the doo-doo that he's spewing. So, and if anybody, I'm going to leave this up. I'm not going to make this any longer because it's about cut off at 30 minutes for sure. So good night, everybody. Good night, Gaddy Ann. Good night, Common Sense. I think you're on your mic, Jeremiah. You should hook up with what's his name? Chris Joe. Oh, come on. Short name. Ron Davis. Don Davis, Ron Davis, I think, whatever his name is. Anyway, sorry about that if I missed. I'm tired. You guys are both in Indiana. Maybe you're close enough to help each other out. So, good night, Zimbabwe. Good night, man. Good night, Jeremiah. And that's about it. Good night, nobody. Jeremiah Shine. The little arrow thing's right there. I can't see what it says. Paulina. Paulina Poritskova. That's not a sentence. Have I ever heard of her or what? I'll look it up. I have no idea what you're saying. One guy he said he always uses speak to text, which is what I do. Speak to text. Works great, less filling. No, tastes great, less filling. It works wonderful. It's more accurate, and you can actually say a whole sentence that way. Like, do I know who Paulina Poritskova is? No, Olympic gymnast or something. You said you hook up with. Yeah, what's his name? I don't know. I think it's Ron Davis. I'll hook you up. I will. You're both one or another. I don't know if he's on. He was on Facebook and he got off. Same reason I did. He might still be on there. I'll get you guys connected if you want. Do you want me to hook you up with him? Or you want me to hook up with Paulina Porizkova? Is she good looking? No. Is she a godly woman? That's the main thing. My big prayer to God question has been, do you have a sane woman in the kingdom? Is there a sane woman in your entire kingdom? I mean, I'm starting to wonder, like they're all not insane. No offense to any of you women on here that listen to it, because I know there are a few out there, but they're all married, damn it. I don't know. Doesn't seem like there is any left, but who knows? Yep. 7 years, okay. 7 year ache. See what else this old cart can take. I'm ready for the time. Crystal Gale, I'm waiting for the times to get better. Yeah. Old country western song. All right, good night. I wonder myself. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder. We wonders, from my precious, we wonders. I said Paulina. Yeah. You said you should hook up with, I said Paulina Portugal. Who is Paulina Portugal? I'll look it up. Jeez. What do you know personally? Send me give her my number. All right. All right. Oh, let's get off that subject. It's dangerous. All right. Thank you for the thought. Whatever. I think I understand what you're saying. I don't know who she is. I have no clue. So, anyway, God bless everybody. Answer my question about how many commandments are there in Exodus 20. All right. Um, and then that's about it. Give thought to the idea of helping people move. I mean, truck drivers could do a lot. Men who are out there and know what it is to drive a truck can do it safely. Check tire air pressure and stuff like that, and take care of problems if they arise. Wheel bearing or something, tire blow out and whatnot. We need people like that out there. I mean, I would go out and do it. I don't have anything better to do than to help people. I would love to do it. I'm not really physically in good shape to do it. It could be very damaging to me, life-threatening type thing. But I would love to do it. I'd love to see some younger men go out there and help people get out here. Like say Mary is on the East Coast with 3 daughters. Um, Zimbabwe's out there with her husband. They're both very elderly. He's going blind and his hands are crippled neuropathy. His hands are like little claws. Yeah, let's make this happen somehow. At least get a fund going to help people. Okay, you need, like Rock needs a couple $100 just for gas. He's planning on coming out here about the 1st, and but he's done. They're gonna have to camp out, for crying out loud, in the wintertime, because they don't have money for a motel. Well, let's raise money for a motel for him. Come on. So that's my plea, to people. Let's start helping these people move. Investment. Consider it a loan. If you can loan money toward this fund, let me know. If you want to give money, that's fine. But if you want to just loan money, as an investment, not that we're going to charge interest, hopefully, because everybody's going to understand that that's not right biblically. But if you can loan money and give a period of time till we can bless you back, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, and be blessed back later after they get here and get settled down, and they can then them to help repay that. So let's talk about that. Consider it. Need somebody to handle that. All right. Oh, 3 people on. Okay, that's too bad. If somebody new's on this, it's just on them. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night, Paulina. Good night, Paulina. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Marianne. Good night, Grandpa. 1984 Sports Illustrated. 1984. Dude, what do you got that laying around your house? You could have said, oh my gosh, Deborah. I don't remember her name. Thank God I don't. From the 1984 Playboy or whatever it was. All right, enough of that. Thank you. LOL. Yeah. Good night, guys.